Good afternoon. It's good to see everyone here. Today we want to thank all of you for coming out to this extraordinary announcement that we have. Again, so much good news and so many good things that are happening in our city through public-private partnerships and the type of collaboration that we have between so many of our entities here is important, and it helps us accelerate the progress that we want to see throughout this city. And truly, perception is reality. And as the leader in job creation here in the state regarding capital investment and economic development, we're changing the perception and shifting the narrative around Montgomery. Our goal is to position our community as a leader in technology and innovation, a place that's a viable home for corporations, philanthropic entities, as well as entrepreneurs on the cutting edge. And those corporations now include Spire. And today we're excited to join the team from Spire to celebrate its next phase of growth in Montgomery. Their world-class fiber network will be a game changer, not only for Montgomery, but for the river region, as well as Central Alabama. The recent acquisition of Troy Cablevision is accelerating Spire's fiber-based expansion throughout Alabama. These are things we need to be competitive and things that we need to be relevant in the space, not only from basic services, but what we want to do down the line in the future. And we're glad that expansion starts right here. And Spire provides an ultra-fast broadband, high-speed internet access. It complements our community's unique IT assets and will grow our tech and entrepreneurial ecosystem. And this is something that we work on each and every day through our Chamber of Commerce, our city, county governments, our public schools, our higher ed institutions, our military presence, expanding our reach and our depth in the knowledge-based economy. And so this isn't just a boom for the business community. It's also a boom for our residents. Spire's expansion means more options, more competition in the high-speed ISP space, which will lead to more efficient and accessible service. And Spire is committed to helping enhance quality of life in our community by bridging the digital divide and supporting schools like Dalreda Elementary, which you'll see very soon. This is another investment that stems from our work with our partners at the Chamber, with Montgomery Public Schools, and with the Montgomery County Commission, a partnership that helped us achieve record levels of success. And when we think about last year being the best year in this city's history, with over $1.7 billion invested and announced in well over 2,000 jobs, with the type of companies like Manna Beverages and Ventures, Amazon, the Inland Port, FedEx, Premier Tech, Hyundai Mobis, and more. And this year we're working to keep up that pace, and Spire will be integral in helping us do just that. And with that, I'd like to introduce one of our new partners from Spire, the Vice President of Corporate Communications and Marketing Operations, Jim Richmond. Mr. Richmond, thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here with you today. Really excited to be here in Montgomery and talk a little bit about who we are as a company and our focus here in this great city. Just briefly, in case you're not familiar with our brand, we've been in the telecom business for a long time. Started way back in the 1940s with a couple of rural telephone companies. We are privately held and have purposely stayed that way. Our goal has been focused on bringing technology, really first-class technology products and services into our service areas, as well as being a good corporate citizen at the same time. The customer is obviously very, very important to us. We've always been focused on the customer's needs, and that's really helped drive our success over time. And we have three different divisions within our company. One is wireless, really focused more in Mississippi and Mobile and in Memphis. We are the largest privately held wireless carrier in the U.S. And we've just been very successful in that arena for about 35 years. But here in Alabama, we really focus on our other two divisions, our home fiber division, and then also our Spire business division. And Chad Copeland will come up in a few minutes and talk to you a little bit more about those divisions. We do have business customers in 35 states across the U.S., but our focus is in Alabama, Mississippi, and Tennessee on a day-to-day basis. We've grown to about 1,850 employees, that most of those, again, are based in the 3 states that I mentioned. We were recognized last year in 2022 by Forbes as one of the best mid-size employers in the U.S., and recognized earlier in 2023 by Newsweek as one of the greatest employers for diversity. And so these are two awards that we're very, very proud of, 2 big accomplishments for us, and something we're very happy about. Our growth over time has been both organic as well as through acquisitions. And we found a great match in Troy Cable, who of course had been serving the Southeast Alabama area for many years. And we recently changed that brand over to Spire. And again, Chad will talk a little bit more about that shortly. I did, in order to paint a good picture of who we are, obviously we're going to be bringing a lot of additional fiber expansions to the city, as well as some of our C-Spire business products and services as well, all about technology. But just to kind of give you an idea of our capabilities and who we are as a company, I want to share 2 quick examples. One, over a 2-year period, the Alabama Department of Transportation worked with C-Spire Business and our technology partner Cisco and designed and really performed upgrades to the fleet of trucks for the Alabama Service and Assistance Program, the ASAP program. And what that provided provided the trucks with connectivity, IoT or Internet of Things options, and artificial intelligence that accomplished the ability to do real-time situational awareness video feeds with machine learning capabilities. I know that's saying a lot, but that's all about technology, the things that we talk about each and every day. The second project that I was going to mention is actually over in Mississippi called the Mission Network. And this is a network, fiber network that we built and we maintain and manage that links all of the universities in Mississippi, the community colleges, the State Medical Center, and then entities like the Stennis Space Center all together. And this provides infrastructure that researchers really need to embrace the Internet of Things and machine learning and artificial intelligence and all of those things. So really proud of that. And those are the types of things that as we continue to grow and expand that we want to look to do more of. Right quick, I wanted to point out a couple of C-Spire leadership, senior leadership that are here with us today. Wesley Goins, who's in the back of the room here. Wesley is president of Telepex, which is our parent company. And Wesley is actually part of the family that owns C-Spire and also is a native from Alabama. Jake Cohen, who is senior vice president. Jake's over here. Jake is senior vice president and general manager for our home division across our whole company. But Jake also formerly served with Troy as CFO and general manager for that entity. Conrad Bell, who's in the back room. Conrad is senior vice president and chief information security officer for us. Conrad lived here in Montgomery for quite some time. I think he told me he knew you maybe a couple of years ago. So, and then Chris Champion as well. I saw Chris. Chris is here. Chris serves as our vice president of government relations and spends a good bit of time here in Montgomery as well. We do have a whole host of other C-Spire employees with us, and I appreciate them being with us as well. We really appreciate, again, being here today, you taking your time to join us. We're really excited. I'll be coming back up shortly to make a presentation, but at this point I would like to turn the podium over to Anna Buckaloo, who you all know as President and CEO of the Montgomery Chamber of Commerce.
Good afternoon. This has been a time, as the mayor alluded to, a string of announcements for Montgomery, Alabama, riding a wave of economic growth and acceleration, and we credit much of that to Mayor Reed's leadership and a new pace of development in our city. C-Spire's investment in Montgomery is a welcome investment, and I have to say what a tremendous additional milestone this is in our economic development path forward. Their infrastructure, their team, if you look on C-Spire's website and you look at their mission and their commitment, I think I even saw the word obsessively relentless in their commitment to their people, both internal to the company and in their communities. And that is so refreshing to see a company like C-Spire, first Troy Cable, Cable, who we've worked with Jake over the years, one of our founding partners in our internet exchange here in Montgomery, and still to this day. And I'm going to ask Cherise Stokes if she will just make her way up as our director of Tech MGM, just to say a quick comment, because Cherise is such a leader in our innovation space in Montgomery, Alabama, and really throughout the state. But Troy Cable was a partner in our internet exchange, and if you still look at a map of internet exchanges, Montgomery has an incredible asset in our internet exchange with the connectivity that we offer, the speeds that we offer, and Spire sees the power of that partnership. So we appreciate their investment. We know this is the beginning of great things to come. And I'm going to ask Cherise just to say a word on behalf of our Economic Development Initiative, Tech MGM.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you, Spire. As we look at how Montgomery really wants to grow from a technology perspective and how we're looking at innovation and entrepreneurship, companies like Spire are integral to that growth. Their ability to embed themselves within our education and workforce development systems, but even how they look at technology, the methodologies around that, and their ability to be agile and emerging technology helps our entire community. So when we look at economic development, community development, attracting new businesses, having infrastructure, and having the different tools that Spire offers, helps us to attract even more companies to the city of Montgomery. So I, for one, am very, very pleased that not only their investment in Montgomery, but the long stay that they will have here and the partnership that they'll have throughout many areas in which we see in the community. So thank you all.
Thank you so much, Cherise. I believe now it's my pleasure to call up Chad Copeland, Vice President with, I believe, Residential and Home Services for Spire, to tell us a little bit more about the good news.
Thank you all for the kind words. Thank you, Mayor, for having us here. Thank all you guys for being here today. You know, for years, everyone's understood the importance of highly reliable fiber-based networks that business and industry can rely on. But over the last few years, every connection has become important, and we've started to realize that. In our technology-fueled economy, fiber is a medium with almost limitless capabilities of growth, and it's a must for economic development. That's why Mayor Reed and the City of Montgomery is focused on increased access to advanced technologies, especially all fiber broadband connectivity, will ensure that the city's economic growth potential remains strong. In early 2011, Troy Cable realized the importance of Montgomery in our future fiber network. So in 2013, we built our first middle mile fiber route into Montgomery, and then later that year began to expand our backbone into the rest of the city. In January of 2016, we became the first ISP to connect to the Montgomery Internet Exchange, cementing our belief in work with the city to foster innovation and growth. Spire announced its plan to purchase Troy Cable shortly after it announced that it was going to invest $500 million in the state of Alabama. What's exciting about that is today we're celebrating the substantial part that Montgomery plays in that investment. So at the beginning of this year in Montgomery, there was right about 800 businesses and residents that could connect to the Spire fiber network with a maximum residential speed of 1 gig. So today, we're at approximately 2,200 businesses and residences that can connect with a top residential speed of 8 gigs. And by the end of the year, we'll have as many as 3,400 homes and businesses that will be able to connect to the Spire fiber network. And we're still working on plans for 2024 and further, but you can count on that number continuing to grow. So it's not just the direct investments in Montgomery that are important, though, also our continued investment in the rest of the state. So for example, we just completed a 243-mile, middle mile long haul fiber build between Meridian, Mississippi, and Homewood, Alabama. That route, and others being planned like it, offer business and industry in Montgomery more low latency, high availability routes to connect to the world. So being customer inspired also, it means that we value our customers. We listen to their needs, and we work to help them solve problems. And so that's why C-Spire is bringing more than just fiber to the Montgomery market. Our C-Spire business division brings highly certified solution engineers focused on solving problems for businesses. That team holds 162 certifications in 65 specialty areas. So in short, we have a team of IT experts that's sole job is to help your businesses grow. So C-Spire has also been named one of North America's top managed services company for the last 10 years in a row. Managed services are just one of the services that we'll bring to this market. Others include our security and compliance, voice and collaboration, our connectivity plans, and cloud and data center solutions. We also partner with many of the nation's leading technology companies to help companies overcome IT challenges and provide solutions. We're high-level certified partners with Cisco, Dell, Microsoft, and Fortinet, just to name a few. And these are the things that allow us to be solution partners in projects like Mr. Jim mentioned earlier, with the Alabama Department of Transportation project and with the project in Mississippi that he referenced. So in closing, I'd like to say that C-Spire is extremely excited about our investment to bring fiber broadband to more residences and businesses in Montgomery. There's no doubt that fits into Mayor Reeves' plan to advance the city of Montgomery's from the technological standpoint. Again, we thank you for today, and we thank you for allowing us to be part of that. Thank you, Mayor. And I'd like to ask Mr. Jim to come back.
Yes, so before we turn it back over to the mayor to close out, I'd like to ask if I could Dr. Brian Cutter and Jennifer Noah from the Montgomery Public Schools to come forward. Most of you are aware that Dr. Cutter serves as principal and Jennifer Noah serves as STEM facilitator at Del Reyta Elementary School. And through our history at C-Spire, we've really been aggressive on pushing technology and also Superintendent Brown, thank you, appreciate it. But we've always been really interested and really pushed hard aggressively to push technology forward in the areas in which we serve. And for several years now, we've concentrated real heavy on STEM, on coding, developing coding skills, computer science, in general. And our focus has really been to help educate students just on the possibilities that are out there, what you can do with the skills from computer science and just coding skills and just STEM in general. To help mark this celebration on the expansion here in Montgomery, as well as just a token of our appreciation to the city in this, again, this expansion announcement, we would like to donate $5,000 to the Exploration Lab at Del Reyta Elementary School here today. Thank y'all so much. We'll let you keep the fake check too, but we actually did deliver the real check as well. So with that, our part of the program comes to conclusion. But again, we certainly appreciate everything that the city of Montgomery is doing to help us with this expansion, and really look forward to working with you. So Mayor, we'll turn it back over.
This time I'm going to ask, before we close out, our Superintendent of Public Schools, Montgomery Public Schools, Dr. Brown, to come bring a few words about what this partnership means and what's going on in our schools as we get ready to get back in the flow of our academic school year for 2023-2024. Dr. Brown.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. The work we're doing in our district is to continue to move forward the needle in terms of what education should look like in a 21st century environment. We want to be able to provide our kids with access an opportunity to see any and everything that exists in our world, so they have choices they can make for themselves. Thank you, Spire, for coming to our community and being a part of this and being a firm partner and helping us push this work forward. We talked earlier about the development of problem-based learning and how that can come to fruition in our classrooms, and how we can put our kids in positions where they can learn content and then apply it in real-life context. Spire will be yet another partner to come to the table to help us do those things and push that forward. We're also excited about the notion of developing career pathways across all of our schools so kids can see all of the possibilities that exist for them. Our work continues on a daily basis, and we are constantly about this grind and making sure we're the most preeminent district in the state and in the nation in doing this type of work. So we're excited for the partnership, thankful for the partnership with the city and the work that we're trying to do to push Montgomery forward. I personally am just excited to be part of the process and to have an opportunity to work with such stellar individuals like Dr. Cutter at Dow Rader and so many others in our district. Thankful for that and for what our city does on a regular basis to support us. So thank you very much for this opportunity as well.
So as we close out, I want to thank everybody for helping make this possibility. All the leadership at Spire, thank you for your investment and your partnership. Thank you for thinking about how we can expand the footprint technologically here in Central Alabama. It's urgent that we do so in order to compete not only with other communities around the state, but with other communities around this nation and this country. And these type of partnerships, when we have our school system and we have innovative entrepreneurial organizations like the Lab on Dexter and Tech MGM, along with just working with local government to make sure these things are easy to do, or as easy as they can be, and to make sure that we aren't inhibiting progress. We want to continue to be a partner with you. We want to make sure as you all look to lay more and more fiber, that we're a asset and not a liability, that we are making sure that our permitting process, our inspection process, and all of those things are right in line with what you need to do in order to be profitable and to be successful, because those are things that we need not only for you as a company, but for us as a community. And so with that, to each and every one of you who are here, who've been a part of this, thank you for the role that you play, and thank you for being a part of the great news and the great momentum that we have here in the city of Montgomery and changing this narrative and accelerating the progress of the river region itself. So with that, I'll close this out, and if there are any questions, I'll open it up, and if not, again, just thank you all for coming today.